Hey, Facebook is an interesting little thing with the live. It always looks like it's a different image, and then once it goes live, it's like this condensed version. So here we are, a little thrown off, but anyway. Hello, welcome. It's so nice to see you. I am in a different space today. I am not in my little workout zone today. We have some construction going on out upstairs in our loft. And so, therefore, I am here in my office, and I thought it'd be a great time to talk about digestive health because that is a very important topic. It is also a very popular topic with all of my clients and anyone else who's reaching out um, for advice on weight loss. So, what I always say is that you can't lose weight if your digestive system is not working properly. So, you detox through a few areas of your body. And, your sweat, your saliva, your lungs gives off water and detoxes, and your bowels is a big one too. So if your bowels aren't working, they're sort of the fastest way and easiest way to get the toxins out. So if you can't poop normally, which is at least once a day, then it's going to be tough for you to not only lose weight but to maintain weight loss as well too. So if your digestion is off, you tend to feel tired, sluggish, you don't sleep well, and you never really feel rested. So digestion is super important for getting the toxins out, and if the toxins don't get out, then they sit in your fat cells. So that's why digestive system and detoxing is so important to not only let go of weight but to keep it off. So the more that you let go of the toxins and not bring them back into your body, the easier and simpler it's going to be to lose weight and then keep it off. So very important stuff. Digestion is also like weight loss. It is not a destination, it is a journey. So if you think that your digestive system is feeling good today, you may eat something or you might get stressed out, and then your digestive system is totally rocked and not feeling well the next day. So it's a journey, it's not a destination. So always knowing, well, having at least an idea of what your body needs will help it to know, help you to know what your body needs in order to help your digestion improve. So that's good. If you hold stress in your stomach or your upper abdomen or even your lower abdomen down here, then your digestion will always be off. So let's say you get thrown off and you feel stressed about something, then you may be holding the tension here, which doesn't allow for the food to move through nicely, gently, and easily, and therefore you could get bound up in here, which then causes the bloating, the digestive issues, and the gas, which again is not socially acceptable. That's for sure. I mean, it's just not cool. So, yeah, so if you hold stress there, then you will have some digestive issues too. And so, how do you hold stress there? You're probably thinking like, I'm not stressed. Well, stress isn't just like mental stress. It isn't just what's going on in your head or in your life. We interpret that stress from our brain in, well, really it's emotions, brain, and then into the body. And when we hold stress here, it actually activates the fascia, which is a connective tissue covering, and it activates here, and then the tightness gets even worse, and then therefore you can't even digest food properly, you aren't hungry as much, and your stomach just feels off. Maybe you have GERD, something like that. So having fear, having a response, and then fear in your mind, and then that fear trigger into your digestive system, that definitely affects the rest of your body, the rest of your digestion, which makes you more tired and sluggish and can't detox, making you heavier than what you'd like to. And when you squeeze that fascia here, it affects all of the areas of your digestive system. So it would be your stomach, which is over here, your gallbladder here, liver here, your small intestine, which is kind of down here, and then the large intestine, which comes up and down like that too. So when you're feeling stressed and tight here, then all of that will be affected and not working properly. So, a lot of people who have joined my program, the Total Fitness and Self-Love program, have had gallbladder issues or liver issues, and they've been dealing with a lot of digestive health issues too. And so if you're constantly squeezing here, then your gallbladder is not going to work properly. So you may develop gallstones, which can become an issue in the future, as well as your liver. So you may feel more angry because the liver is associated with the emotion of anger. And then even just the bowels have their own sort of emotional representations too. So that can create more emotional problems too. So the more that we're open and flowy, the better things really are. And honestly, when you're open here, that means that you tend to feel more confident. And I've talked about this in my other videos too. So when you can open up your solar plexus here by doing a power pose or some sort of exercise that opens this up and strengthens, then you tend to have more self-confidence, which is always what we want, right? So if you can do it through your body as opposed to your emotions, why not do it that way? You basically can create more self-confidence whether you're affecting your physical body, your emotional side, your mental side, and your spiritual, which is basically the umbrella of all of that. So there you go, just a little bit of background information. So hopefully you're staying tuned and you want to get the answers now, so that's exciting. Your body's always talking to you. I wanted to stress that too, is there's always a mind-body connection. There's always a signal, even down to when I see, I'm a massage therapist, so when I see moles on people or blackheads, that's usually where there's a tight muscle. So the body is constantly sending signals and sending messages for you so that you start to understand what your body needs to get you back to the path of health. So it's quite autonomous, a lot of self-empowerment when you have body awareness and a mind-body connection too. So that is very important. And okay, so yeah, so I want to talk about all the things that I do that help with my digestive system. And so I'm glad that you're here, because this is all the good stuff. It is all encompassed in my Total Fitness and Self-Love program, which is a DIY program. It's only $300 plus tax. It basically gives you all the foundational elements that you would ever need to not only lose weight, but to understand your body and have more self-love, which, if you don't know how to love yourself, it's really hard to love others. So anyway, so I'm going to give you some info as to what that's all about and everything that we go through week by week. And that will ultimately help you with digestion, because it takes away any fears that you have and takes away that tightness here and gets you to understand your body a lot better too. So week one, what I do for my digestive system is I make sure I have lots of water. So I'm going to take a moment to take a sip right now. So if your body is not hydrated enough, you could potentially go through IBS symptoms like diarrhea, constipation, diarrhea, constipation. So what happens if you aren't hydrated enough? Then your body can respond with constipation. Makes sense, right? Too much bulk in there, not enough water, can't get through. But what can also happen too is if you're dehydrated, you may have a whoosh of getting the stool out from constipation, but then diarrhea, because then your body's like, oh my gosh, the bowels can move. Let's get the rest of the stuff out. So that can create diarrhea. So if you always have enough water in your body and your body knows that it's going to be getting more water throughout the day, then you have less of those fluctuations from IBS symptoms, the roller coasters of constipation, diarrhea. So very important. I mean, water is great for everything. That's just the one thing I'm going to touch on right now in terms of digestion. So the more water you drink, the less toxins you have, the better your digestive system works, getting rid of those toxins, and you will stay leaner and have less weight and be able to maintain that as well too, because you're getting rid of all those toxins. So water is super important for the digestive system. And just so you know, coffee is a dehydrator. It's not just a metabolism booster and everything else that it is. It's actually an irritant to the bowels, so it creates dehydration. So when you're drinking your coffee, I highly recommend drinking water with your coffee. So, and not only will the water keep you hydrated, it will actually make the coffee work better. It's crazy. Give it a try. I dare you. I want to hear about it. Number 2 week, so we did water. Week 2 is deep breathing, learning how to actually do deep belly breathing. It's not just about breathing. It's actually about, I've done a few videos on deep breathing, and if you want more of a focused video on deep breathing, then I can send that to you. But yeah, deep belly breathing will not only help you to relax more, it will definitely put you in that rest and digest state, but then it also will help you to move the muscles and the fascia. Again, that fascia is a connective tissue covering of all the entire body, especially in the abdomen, because it's holding all of the organs in their exact place properly. And if you're dehydrated and that fascia is dehydrated, then it's like it's an entrapment almost. It's like the mesh covering is entrapped onto your muscles and all of your organs, so they can't actually work very well. So you couple the water with the deep breathing, and then you're able to move your body, your fascia, while you're doing deep breathing. So both very important, and gives you more oxygen too. So oxygen helps with every system in the body. So all the cells need oxygen. So the more that you can get oxygen, the better your bowels will be. And the more that they're moving, the less restrictions there will be, the less bloating, less gas, all of the things that we talked about, and you'll have more energy too. Week 3, we talk about body awareness. As I said before, it's very important to be able to understand what your body is doing. If you always want to run off to the doctor and ask them what your body's doing, then maybe you don't want self-autonomy. And it is what it is. That's okay. That's not me. I want to know what's going on so that I don't have to rely on someone else's expert opinion of my body that I've been living in for 40 years. I want to know what's going on. I told you, our bodies are constantly talking to us. They send us little signals, whether it's on our skin, whether it's a little pain, whether it's, constipation. It's always talking to us. So very important to be able to have this body awareness. I say that when you're eating, it's a perfect time to start to have body awareness if you haven't had it before. So sitting there eating, ingesting something will help you to feel what's going on. Okay, I just swallowed it. Yeah, I feel it down my throat. Okay, it's going into my esophagus. Yeah, in my stomach. Oh, interesting. It's cold ice cream, so it's making me cold. So that's just an example of that body awareness. If you are like me and you self-sabotage a lot, I mean, I'm definitely working on that. I'm a recovering self-sabotager, especially with food, closet case chocoholic. When you have body awareness, you can actually start to pinpoint things that you can do before you get to the self-sabotage stage. So let's say you're feeling emotional, something just happened at work, or you had a conversation with a friend or family member and you're feeling really emotional right now. You may reach for the sugar, the carbs, the cake, whatever it is, because you're heightened. I'm in a sympathetic nervous system right now. Okay, my body needs energy. I gotta get away from the certain thing that is bothering me. So we're not physically running away from it anymore, but we still have that sort of mental, emotional stress. And so the self-sabotage part is where you reach for the treat because you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed. So the more that you have that body awareness, like, oh, I feel uncomfortable. Yes, this person is bothering me. Okay, I'm starting to get that tightness here. Yeah, all right. Well, what can I do to fix that? Okay, well, I know water helps. So drink some water. Okay, I still feel uncomfortable. All right, what else do I need to do? Deep breathing. Lisa said deep breathing is really good for me. So you do a little bit of deep breathing, and that's when you catch the potential for a self-sabotage thing to occur. I just remembered another good thing about water is when you're hydrated, your body doesn't need to crave carbs because your body's always looking for energy to get the job done. And if you give it water for energy, then it won't need sugar for energy. So just a little tip for you. Week 4, we talk about mind awareness, so mental awareness. What stories are you telling yourself? What lies have you been told before in your past? And are they still running your life? Are you ruminating on, oh, I'm just not good enough. I ate the cake last night. Oh, I'm such a terrible person. I told myself I was going to start that exercise thing, the routine, and now here I am eating the cake. I'm a failure. This is awful. So things like that. Do you unconsciously tell yourself these things? This stuff definitely helps, especially when, as I said before, the self-sabotage begins. If you're constantly telling yourself that you're never good enough, or you're never going to do it well enough, or you can't do something, then that's going to put you back into that perpetual self-sabotage mental lie that has been pretty much running and ruining your life. So instead of just not having thoughts, that's where meditation sometimes doesn't work enough, you have to replace the lie with the truth. So if you just get rid of the lie, now there's an open gap, and now there's room to put something else in there. So if you're not training yourself to have better habits and systems to tell yourself the truth, which is you are good enough, you aren't a failure. People don't fail, systems fail. It's just a matter of the fact that the habit wasn't in place, the system wasn't in place, you didn't have anything to fall back on. You repeated history. So you're not a failure. So if you need theory and logic behind it, that's what happens. You don't fail, the system part failed. There wasn't enough planning. So, anyway, it's a little side tangent, but the mental awareness. So I'm not good enough, I am good enough. Or even if you want to say it like you say to yourself, I'm not good enough, but if you tell yourself as though you're a different person, you are good enough. It's a lot easier to say you are than I am. So you are good enough. You did a great job yesterday. You didn't eat all the stuff out of the pantry. Great job. Like, that's awesome. You had a really nice dinner with your friend and you're doing a great job. So just like little things like that are super important, and having that mind awareness of all of the cyclical lies that you could be telling yourself. And that's when you bust all those up, the fear part goes away. So you start to have more self-confidence. You have less tightness here, like, oh no, there's people here. Am I going to be able to say the right thing? It's like, yeah, I am. It's okay. It's going to be great. And then all the tightness and tension kind of goes away, and then you are able to rest and digest and relax, get rid of the bad stuff, bring in the good stuff. So there you go. So that is the first 4 weeks of the program. There are 12 weeks in total. The next 4 are all about all of my massage therapy side, which is the stretches, strengthening, nutrition, and food, and having some self-care time. So AM, PM routines. If you don't have a morning or an evening routine, you're probably not giving yourself enough love. So that's something that I found was very helpful to relax my digestive system. And then the next 4 are all about self-confidence, resting and enjoying your own company, having boundaries with other people, because a lot of times when we feel like, oh my gosh, I have to do all these things and people please, and this person needs me and all these things, then that really dampens this part of your body too, which is the culmination of life place. So if you're feeling like you aren't good enough, then, and you're fearful and you're worried about life, then you realistically have a fear, and you can't digest life. So very important to know that. So if you're having a lot of fear around something, then you're not able to digest life. You're not able to trust that this situation is there for you and helping you to create a more positive circumstance out of the negative. So that's very important too. And keeping emotions level as much as possible is a very important part of ensuring that your digestive system is good too. So if you're feeling like you're always sort of on the roller coaster, you're high, you're low, you're high, you're low, and you can't it's hard to have conversations with certain people. If you're constantly on that high of the roller coaster, you're constantly going to come down too, and that's when we crave the sugar and then we drop from the sugar, and then we crave the sugar and then we drop from the sugar. So when your emotions are balanced, then your cravings are balanced too. So that was a huge part in my life. Didn't have very good emotional regulation, and once I started to get that, and I started to have the body awareness, the mind awareness, what was I telling myself? What was my body telling me? Do I need more water? Do I need more deep breathing? As soon as I did all those things, my emotions started to go more balanced. Like, I wouldn't say totally like this, but they weren't like this. They were kind of started to do this, and now, they're kind of like that. I mean, not perfect. We're a work in progress, but that's okay too. And that has really helped me to heal my digestive system and lose weight all at the same time. So why not get one with the other? It works perfect. And another thing I wanted to tell you too, just a little tidbit. So whenever you're starting a new health plan or self-care, self-love, any of that stuff, when you start to change what you're eating and drinking more water, I found with myself, and you may find this as well, is that there's this point where it's like the detox happens and nausea comes in. So again, not sure if this is everyone, but I talked to a few people and they're like, oh my gosh, how do I push through this? Well, it always has to get worse before it gets better. When you clean a room, you get all the stuff out, you put it in a pile, and then you sort through the pile, and then it starts to look better once you put everything away, right? So that's how I associate this. If I've been eating food that isn't easily moving through my body, like lots of breads and things like that, then when I start to eat the fruit or the veggies, things move faster, but then I start to get nauseous. And just know that it's a temporary thing. It's probably going to happen to you when you start a new, nutrition plan or workout plan, anything like that. So just to push through it. I don't mean like guns a-blazing, but just like gently kind of push through. Yep, I'm going to feel nauseous, and that's okay. But I'm going to get to the other side. This nausea is temporary. We're going to get to the other side. You're going to feel so much better after you push through that nausea and get to the other side. So that's something that you really want to think about too. I even had someone ask me about probiotics, and she took these probiotics, they were expensive, and she kind of was like, oh, it made me feel so gross and uncomfortable, and the gas and the bloating and all this stuff. And I was like, yep, sounds about right. That's exactly what happens. It's like, as I said, it has to get worse before it gets better. And those probiotics were good pathogens or biotics, iotics, whatever. The good guys in the bowels, they pushed all the bad guys out. And so it makes complete sense that that happened. So you got through the worst part, carry on with the probiotics because they clearly did something. You can't go without probiotics and eat a bunch of garbage and then take probiotics and expect them to be gentle. It's like, that's just how it is. If we have been neglecting our digestive system for a long time and then start to push everything at it, it's gonna go, huh? And then just hurry up and get things out, basically. So just know it's got to get worse before it gets better, but that's okay. It's temporary. Expect it, and then keep going on with the plan. So anyway, if you need a plan, I have as I said, program, Total Fitness and Self-Love program. It's DIY. It's only $300 plus tax. You can go on my website, lisamcclellan.com, and then click on the button for Total Fitness and Self-Love program, and then scroll all the way down, hit the button, and then get you started. If you want more information about this, let me know. It's not just a weight loss plan, it is a get to know yourself plan, including your digestive system and everything else that we talked about today. And I love talking about that. It was great. I thought there was a lot of great information. So watch and rewatch if you have any digestive questions. These are the foundations that I use. And have a couple other little things like probiotics and magnesium that also help me with my digestive system, including my sleep. And then I always talk about bitters too. So those are to help with your gallbladder. So if there's any more questions about that, please let me know. Just so you know too, I've been posting these videos on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube, watch, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications for more videos. I do them every Friday, 12:30, except I forgot last week because I was in full wedding planning mode, which is so exciting. It's been a great addition to my life. So lots of exciting stuff. So anyway, get your digestion under control, get it healed. You want as much energy as you can get. You want to have rested sleep. You want to feel rested the next day. Just doing a couple things like doing some, drinking some water, doing some deep breathing, having body awareness so you don't self-sabotage and you know what your body needs, and having mind awareness. So replacing any lie of you're not good enough with you are good enough and you are a success. You are not a failure. So replace those things and push through, because all of the yucky stuff is temporary and you will get to the point where you want to be, which is have a good digestive system. So it's a journey. It is what it is. Good digestion is not a destination. It is always a journey. So thank you very much. It's been so great to chat with you. I can't wait to talk next week. Let me know if there's anything you want to see and hear or know about, and we'll carry on. Bye.